Hi, my name's jwragg from Blackshaw in Queanbeyan, and I'd like to welcome you to this beautiful property, Cappagh Brae, at 4789 Monaro Highway in Colinton, just outside of Michelago. Cappagh Brae is an outstanding rural property in a class of its own, located 10 minutes south of Michelago or 35 minutes south of Tuggeranong, with both good grazing and natural bushland. Above all else, it's a very significant property in this region in terms of its valuable contribution to protecting native animals, plants and local heritage. The property has funding and tax concessions to continue the environmental work into the future, and sound farming practices have been established to maximise land return and ensure an income into the future. The partially restored railway cottage on the property is a well-known landmark on the Monaro Highway. The main home was craftsman-built in 2005 and still looks brand new. North facing and elegantly presented, the home is light and tastefully finished. The formal lounge and dining rooms feature a fireplace that's both practical and charming. The home has a 14-zone in-floor hydronic heating system, solar hot water and grid interactive solar electricity. The kitchen has an island bench, breakfast bar and plenty of cupboard space. The living room flows off the kitchen and connects to the rest of the house. The traffic areas are tiled, ensuring low maintenance. The main bedroom has a country-style ensuite, a wonderful dressing room and a north-facing private retreat you can escape to. There are 4 bedrooms in total, ready to accommodate family and guests comfortably. There's undercover accommodation for 9 vehicles and a driveway that wraps around the house and connects the house to the sheds. Not only is it tidy, it also acts as a fire prevention barrier, protecting the house at all times. Water has been carefully considered on the property. It has 3 dams, 2 bores, and there are as many as 15 water tanks to keep water flowing all year round. The property is a reflection of the love that the owners Robert and Barbara have for the land. Barbara has kindly agreed to explain why they chose to participate in a conservation agreement, wildlife refuge and numerous other programs on the property. Here's Barbara to share some further insights.
I come from the land originally, and my family for many generations have been on the land. There's a whole line of pioneer women, very strong, courageous women behind me, and I sort of feel if I wouldn't be doing homage to them if I didn't protect the land. And the way I saw we could protect it is by having this conservation covenant. There are benefits to us in having a conservation agreement on our property, and they come in different forms. A very important one is having access to expert people who can guide us in what we're doing on the land and give us suggestions on how we can better improve that procedure or project. Another benefit is the financial consideration. We get a rebate on our council rates, and also there's future funding available for projects. But in fact, it's things that we would be doing anyhow on the property, and this is just helping us to get it done quicker with the financial assistance, and to get it done in a way that is most suitable for the environment in this region. We're very happy that we've gone this way, and we find it a very satisfying and very rewarding experience, and we feel we're contributing to our community and our environment with what we've done. The significance of a wildlife refuge for me is protecting animals, birds and plants that are particular to an area that don't occur anywhere else. So it's like a little time capsule within a particular area. I see it as an important part of my journey through life to have created a wildlife refuge on this property. On a personal level, I have had an attraction to animals my whole life. I love animals. What I've seen over my lifetime is a whole species disappearing, never to be found again. And every so often there's a large hurrah because we found something that was so rare we thought it was extinct, and we find we've still got a breeding colony somewhere in Australia. And I'd like to think that we could have that here on our property with a wildlife refuge. We've also successfully bred gang parrots on this property, and they're endangered as well. There's a lot of endangered and threatened species, in fact, on this property. Or down at the dam, the Australian little grebe, it's nesting there, and they're an interesting bird. When they're young hatch, they carry their young on their back, and these skip across the water. Yeah, they're Australian grebes. Yeah. You know, the little stories I could tell about echidnas and their funny little ways and things like that. We've had an echidna come to the back door to drink water out of the dog's water bowl. It's exciting to see that something you believe in so strongly is actually working, and that's powerful stuff. Yellow box is a species that occurred prolifically in this area, and over the years people found it was very good for burning, so they used it for their wood fires, and hence the decline in the species. So we're encouraging regeneration of that particular tree, and we're having great success. And partly that's because of the help we're receiving as well, fencing off areas from stock and grazing and so on. It's a very attractive tree, it's a very hardy tree, and it's part of federal government stewardship in which the property owner is paid to help with projects to protect the species. The property itself is predominantly the conservation area, which is very important to us. We actually operate a farming business from this property, and we find this system works very well because we're protecting the environment, but we're also contributing to a financial income from the property as well. We've also encouraged and promoted the growth of native pasture. It seems to be more robust than hybrid types, and we've found it's very nutritious for the stock. We've installed a series of water tanks, and they're all connected by farm quality polypipe. We feel we've come a long way in helping to drought-proof the property. Having not long come through a 10-year drought, we feel we've fared very well. I've done research on the cottage. It was one of several railway workers' cottages built between Queanbeyan and Cooma in the mid-1880s, say 1886, 1887. The cottage is one of the best known landmarks on the Monero Highway, and many amateur photographers stop to take a photo. It's also, information about it is published in several books and with photographs. It does lend itself to the tourist industry. Perhaps there's scope, you know, with further restoration it could become a farm stay, B&B. It could become a little tea room because you've got the highway right at the front. There's your customers straight away. That would be under the auspices of the Cooma Shire Council. There's something very exciting could be done with the cottage. It's with great reluctance that we're actually putting the property on the market at the moment. We've been here since 1995, and in that time we've seen incredible changes on the property. We've done that ourselves. We've taken a weed-infested virgin bush block, and we've turned it into a very economical and very productive parcel of land. And that was achieved by many, many years of very, very hard work, and we feel we're leaving the land in a far superior and far more prosperous state than when we bought it all those years ago. And we feel we should have started this project about 20 years earlier.
Thank you, Barbara. As you can see, this property really is in a class of its own. To find out more, please call me, jwragg from Blackshaw, Queanbeyan, and it will be my pleasure to show you this property personally.